knew where you were going with that before you. You were like, I bet so many people, and then I already have heard the. So true. Ladies and gentlemen, in the top right-hand corner, giving a surprise showing here. Could be 2-0 right now, as we were just discussing. So definitely showing us mettle here versus Leenock. Guys, in the yellow from Western Wolves, it is the Terran player Sting. And his opponent in the bottom left from the team FXO. In the pink, also Korean, ladies and gentlemen, it is Leenock.
That's right. And game number 1 started with the 10 pool. Game number 2 was a 2 racks that kind of failed into a mech transition that we thought Sting had the advantage, but wasn't able to follow it up. Game number 3, we'll see what it holds. This is certainly a very large map and kind of an interesting choice for Sting at this stage of the game. Of course, he knows he has multiple picks against Leenock going forward. So maps like Antigua don't have to be used right now. And he's actually hiding his an 11 racks up at the very top corner of his main.
A cool place to hide a barracks.
Yeah.
I want to say, I mean, I don't think Leenock is going to see this because of that's just a really cool place to hide a barracks. But Leenock's also just like, I'm afraid to say that Leenock won't do anything. To be like, Leenock won't win. Leenock won't. This is a 2 racks. Okay.
Again, third game in a row. This one being an 11-13 barracks, or maybe an 11-14 barracks, in contrast to the 12-14 that we've seen over the last couple of games. The first one has started a bit earlier on, and we'll see how much pressure he wants to put on here. I would love... Oh, okay, so what is he going to do with this SCV? Because I would love to see some sort of a big all-in here with just pure Marines.
I really, really like that Sting is using these... I'm going to call them unconventional openings because... You know, I mentioned, Kev, before IPL 5, you know, I hadn't seen too much of Sting, so I was like, all right, I want to study this guy up. And Leenock has probably done the same before this match. And I will say that I didn't see too many 2 rexes. Now, it could just be the games that I saw were somewhat limited, but yeah, definitely didn't. It was like Hellion Banshee, Hellion Banshee, Hellion Banshee, and then a lot of drop play, and then more Hellion Banshee. And here, I mean, he's been opening with all these barracks-centric plays. It's pretty cool, and Leenock, I don't know if he's going to be expecting this.
Could also be a sign of, you know, of Sting knowing his opponent and knowing what works against him as well. Certainly a guy who prepares for his matches, and Leenock is, like we said, arguably the best player in the world right now, so if you're going to prepare for anyone, it's certainly going to be him.
That's actually such a good point, because Leenock has also adapted his playstyle. Almost every, I mean, I think it actually was like every single ZVT except for when he 10-pooled. Leenock always went hatch into gas into pool. And here we're seeing he's actually completely gasless. And so his spawning pool's done and Lings are out. And Sting's not going to be able to put a barracks down.
And Leenock is reading into this perfectly. He's not scouted his opponent at all, but he made another 12 Lings. And yeah, I mean, that's going to give him, let's see here, 13 in total when these are done. So it's quite a bit. The first bunker's already going up, not actually going after the SCV for now. Has to try and ward these units away with 5 Marines here. This is a lot of DPS, a lot of damage output, and the Zerglings aren't actually getting driven back. However, the bunker was stopped in its tracks, forced to be canceled, but there are additional SCVs on the way.
And no drones killed quite yet by Sting. Will the Queens be caught a little out of position? They are quite far forward. No, Lings are going to come to reinforce here and clean up those SCVs very easily. Leenock holding so well.
Yeah, and looks like this is a continued follow-up. Finally, 400 minerals, and another command center gets put down, so Sting will be able to fall back a bit. Can't quite pick off that queen, though. Really needed to get that to find some sort of equity in this trade, but can't do it. Finally backs out of the range of the queens, though, with pretty good stutter step micro from his Marines. Will be able to pick off every last one of those Zerglings, preventing yet more drones from popping out, and has been able to retain a relatively equitable economic situation.
Yeah, but Leenock is sitting very nice with 4. Yeah, he has 4 queens right now. He's going to be already moving up to his gases, which is, wow, that's actually very early. These are some super early gases, guys, so could be powering his way to some sort of an aggressive counterattack. We'll have to wait and see. Sting, in the meantime, has himself gone to a fairly quick 2 refineries here for the fact that he opened 2 barracks, and also, 4 racks. So
Yeah, but that doesn't tell us a whole lot because, I mean, players like Marine King made very popular on this map, going for 4 racks and then transitioning right over into mech afterwards with 3 quick factories and going for a big Hellion push. So I would not be terribly surprised. Oh, no, as the Lings sneak into the main. I would not be terribly surprised, though, to see a mech transition out of this. I'm not saying it has to be that, but it works really well on this map.
Yeah, you can do so much off of 2 refineries. Now, he did go for a pretty quick engineering bay here, though, which, well, he's losing a lot of SCVs right now. In fact, let's take a look at how many, in fact, were lost. 10 over the course of this game, so another 3 or so there.
No drones killed at all. And now Sting is playing from a massive, massive disadvantage. Yeah, 21 to 41.
What? Leenock with an incredibly large drone advantage at this moment, guys. But going back to that production tab, it is, in fact, 2 Evo chambers that are going to be coming out of Leenock to capitalize on that gas that he's bringing in. And this is what I was actually going to mention. So quick 4 racks is actually like staple combat shields timing, which normally is actually hitting at 8:10. Now, you know, as you said, there's a lot of other possibilities you could transition into out of this, but he's going to be hitting way before combat shields, so this is really interesting. We'll see what he can get done.
He knows how far he's down. I mean, I like the decision to all in, you know, I mean, because it's more of a, if you sit back and you even try and play any sort of a macro game, Leenock's just going to kill you because he's got way more than you do at this stage of the game. That's a lot of Marines, too, and this is going to force a big response, and the Baling Nest is actually not done, and it's not going to be done for another 30 seconds.
Well, Leenock, he just needs to be able to split his Lings up after they spawn and then be able to kill off these units. Right now, we can see Sting is going to be killing off a lot of drones. He's losing his SCVs, though, so now he's essentially all in with this push. Going to need to be falling back here in a second is Leenock, as his Baling Nest is near completion. We can see Lings are going to be engaging here. He's actually killing off the Marines. What? Leenock holding this without a Baling Nest?
Yeah, the spine, like, a lot of things were shot, but not too much was actually targeted down there. Finally, the spine crawler dies in the end. A few more units running across the map, but Sting,
well, yep, that's it.
He did kill a lot of workers. He's on 20 workers to his opponents, 22 to his opponents, 34, but Leenock still retains the advantage through all of that because he had gone up to layer. His macro hatch was actually canceled through part of it, but it's going to be up now. He surrounds more Marines in the middle of the map, and his upgrades are still rolling.
That's really the thing is, you know, Leenock here, guys, he's got 1-1 essentially complete. Sting has no tech behind this. His upgrades are half of his opponent. He only has 1 engineering base, so he's not going to be playing catch-up in that regard. And Leenock's got his lair timed right now so that he can start 2-2 immediately when 1-1 finishes. So, I mean, he's going to just, he's going 2 minutes, 3 minutes from now, 2-2 is going to be complete, and Leenock's going to be in an absurdly good position.
All right, he's already taking his 3rd base. Looks like that was just put down about 25 seconds ago, 35 seconds ago. +1 armor's coming up now, but of course Sting hasn't invested into factory tech. He's going to be nowhere close. I mean, we're looking at 15-minute minimum starport, and so I think he just needs round 2, I suppose.
Yeah. Did go for the quick combat shields, so he's already got that underway. Now starting up with Stim and his +1 armor, moving up to a factory. What are your thoughts here, Kev? You know, do you go for drops? Do you go for a tank push as Sting?
I mean, at this stage of the game, it's going to be rough because before any of those get off, he's going to have the Spire that's already breathing Mutalisks down his neck. And at that point, you have to play defensive. And if you play defensive in this position, you have to already have put down a 3rd command center and try and defend that with everything you've got. But Sting doesn't have it. And if he doesn't have it, that means he's got to make a big offensive push. And if Mutalisks are killing everything behind him, he's going all in again, and that's not going to end up well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I mean, granted, he doesn't know the Spire tech is what Leenock's going for here, but it's really a smart decision out of Leenock. You know, in Festers, you could botch a few fungals and maybe lose yourself the game, but with Mutas, you can kind of just harass forever. Now, of course, you know, you can neglect them as well, but keeping Sting defensive, keeping Sting at home, I think I agree, Leenock. It's the best decision here, and we're going to see Mutas not on the way, unfortunately, quite yet, folks. Leenock needs some Banelings.
14 Banelings, as a matter of fact.
Well, he doesn't have speed, so needs to play it safe.
Oh, yeah, of course. But, I mean, if Sting wastes time and blows up creep tumors right now, I mean, it's a lose-lose situation for him because he can engage on creep, but if he starts to take these out, then his opponent gets more and more prepared. There's Stim backing up, waiting to get surrounded by the Zerglings, does get surrounded by the Zerglings, Baneling's hitting and killing basically everything.
Yep.
And once again, the attack is defeated.
And now we've got 2-2 imminent in just a moment here. Leenock may just go for the kill. Yeah, he's got 10 drones out right now. I'm curious to see what he's going to be following it up with, though. Is it going to be more drones? Is it going to be Mutalisks? He's got a lot of options at his disposal right now.
6 barracks, double factory, and a starport off of 2 command centers, already with 1 base getting very low in resources. It's not going to work out too well, and you can see Leenock already preparing for round 3 of a big offensive push with Burrowed Banelings.
And Kev, Leenock thinking just like you. He went for the Carapace, going for the 7 Mutalisks, and is opting in this situation. You know, I'm just going to have this Mutaflock that isn't designed to, you know, snipe tanks or anything of that nature. It's just meant to stay alive and keep Sting at home, to keep Sting on the defensive. And, you know, that is the ultimate goal of the Carapace upgrades, folks. You know, you just want to keep your Mutas alive, keep them from dying, and in this situation is going to keep Sting from being able to make aggressive pushes.
8 barracks, 2 factories, a starport. That is not going to work, unfortunately. The creep spread is very, very good as Leenock extending those little tendrils through the middle of the map. As soon as this Destructible Rocks gets broken down, if these units move out, oh god. Oh, don't want to watch this. Boom.
All right. Sting, guys. Going to try to make something happen with the leftover units, and they are just going to die, and with it, with the last 2 tanks falling, will Sting, no, he's not going to drop out of this quite yet. You know, it is a best of 9, wants to, I guess, fight to every last point in time, but, I mean, Kevin, it's a little demoralizing in all reality when you've got a lot of games ahead of you.
Yeah, and you're kind of staring this situation down. 7 more Mutalisks coming up now, and this is going to be the offensive Muta block that ends up hitting. Already Hive Tech is on the way. And Sting, I mean, by now we're 16 minutes in. Yeah, he's basically mined out of his main. He's only got about, a little less than 2,000 minerals there, about 1,700, 1,800, and then this base is grossly oversaturated.
Leenock is looking so good with these Burrowed Banelings, though, I gotta say. I don't think for the rest of the set we will see Sting leave a base again without scanning first.
No.
Because that's the second time that that's happened now.
And he's cleared up this base, but it's only got to be to just float over his other orbital command because he doesn't have another command center prepared to the best of my knowledge.
All right, here we go. Marine's going to catch a couple of Mutas, but then get caught by some Zerglings. Reinforcements joining for Sting. I mean, he has no way. Look at the quantity of units here. These are 2-2, folks, against just 1-1 Marines. Tank's going to get cleaned up with relative ease. And now there are just too many Mutalisks. GG going to go down for Sting.
All right, so game number 3 in the bag for FXO Leenock. He goes up 2-1 in the set. Pretty convincing win there, too.
Yeah, you know, things really didn't take off for Sting from that 2 racks. Wasn't able to get any damage in. He didn't even kill a single drone, lost 7 SCVs. And Leenock from that point, and he didn't even kill the Queen or the Spine Crawler.
No.
He just killed Zerglings. That's all he got.
That's right. Not a single drone. That's so surprising. But
yeah.
Anyway, it looks like Sting now is going to fall to a little more familiar map. He's going to choose Antigua Shipyard. Next, we are going to run to a commercial break. We'll be back after this, though, for more IPL Fight Club.